Watch this.
This is Dan from Cape Cod Shower Kits, and today we're going to build the easiest of all shower stalls, the house mount single stall. First thing we're going to do is take a look at my secret weapon. I took a piece of scrap I had laying around and cut it to the height I want to set my panels at. Since I wanted my panels to be at about 7 inches off the ground, I just cut this piece of scrap wood to 7 inches. Now let's talk about the posts. These cedar fence posts we're using are meant to have one side in the ground usually. So take a look at the ends, put the best end up and the other end down. So in this case we've put these ends down. I'm going to set the block down and mark a line right where that block is. This way we don't have to measure every single post. We know everything's consistent. Now we want to think about making a right hand wall and a left hand wall. The first thing we want to do is take a look at your wall panel. The top of the wall panel has a flat cap on it. This will help keep rain out of the product. The bottom of the wall looks much different. You can see the framework on it. The bottom of the wall is what we're going to put down on our lines. So we want to make sure when we do it that we have one wall facing out and one wall facing out the other direction. So as I put this down, what I've done to make things easier is I already started the screws by hand. Each one of these panels is pre-drilled, so I just took the screws, started threading them in, and we'll finish up with our screw gun. I'm going to pull the panel down to the line we just marked, and I'm going to make sure I keep the panel flush to the inside corner. Then we'll just screw it in place, making sure everything's flush. So there we go. We've got one side. Now when we do the other panel, we're going to face it in the opposite direction. So as I line this one up, you can see that I've got both bottoms. I'll bring that up to the line. So I've got a left and a right wall. The panels are facing out there, so we make sure that when we screw them to the house, we've got one for each side. Now we'll just flush it up and screw it in, and we'll move on to the installation. So now we're going to stand our first panel up. We'll lean it right up against the wall, and we want to check it for level. Just take our screw gun and screw it right into place. So we've installed our left side panel. We made sure it was level front to back, and before we started we made sure that the blocks we're setting it on, or if you don't want to use blocks, the ground you're setting it on, is level side to side. Now once we put it up, we leveled it front to back, and we need to put our other wall up. Now these kits are so easy that all the sides of the kit are the same dimension. So we're going to measure one of the wall panels, not including the post. It looks like it's around 44 1/4. So in order to get the front half of our unit to function properly, we want to make sure the back is spaced properly. So I'm just going to measure across, again the same distance as this panel, which was 44 1/4. I'm going to make a mark at the top. I'm going to measure across the bottom and make a mark there. Doesn't have to be big, just a little pencil mark. We already put our leveling blocks across the front, and those are about the right spot. So now, I've already put the screws partially in, so that I don't have to do some kind of balancing act with that panel. I'm going to take the panel, put it up on the block, and line it up with the marks that I made on the wall. Once I get it there, we'll throw a quick level on it and screw it in place. So now we've installed our two side panels, making sure that we kept our spacing just the same as a panel width. Now we're ready to do a small panel. So I've already taken this panel, screwed it to our post after making a mark with our little cheater block. In the small panel, you want to throw your screws at an angle. That's going to become important because there's not a lot of room for a screw gun in there. But by putting them in at an angle, you'll be able to get your screw gun in there just fine. So I've already started the screws. We're going to stand it up. We had some blocks kicking around, so we're using these cement blocks to level the product. We're just going to put it right on and screw it in, making sure we keep the wall flush to the inside. So now that we've got our small wall attached to our large wall, we're going to put some corner brackets in there to help make sure that that stays at a 90-degree angle. Now, when we put the panels into the post, they all came with the screws that did that. The only thing that doesn't come with the kit is a few screws to put these corners on, but let's face it, everybody's got a bag of screws kicking around the house somewhere. So we're just going to put these on the inside. Now the angles are already cut to make sure that you get the right angle for your shower stall. So we want to make sure when we line that up that the angles lay flat on the walls, and then we'll just screw them in. So now we're ready to install our door. To make it easier, I've taken the hinges and put a hinge on the top and bottom of the door, and we've already installed our latch about halfway down the door. Now I'm going to use that little cheater block that I cut earlier out of a piece of scrap. Put it right there. That way I can set my door right on it and I know it'll be at the right height. We'll make sure the hinges are out of the way. Set the door up on our block. And then we'll put a couple of screws in the hinges so that we can We want to make sure that we're keeping about 1/4 of an inch between the door and the post on each side. That way our door will function properly. We won't get hinge bind. We won't be too close for our latch to work. So we finished screwing the hinges onto the post, and now, since the latch is already on here, we just have to match up where to put our strike. So we'll see where that closes. We can hold it there by holding the door closed. You just want to make sure it's up enough so that this latch activates. We're going to put a couple of screws in it. And now our door operates freely. Now, I know some of you like to take long showers, but we want to make sure that you can get out of the shower when you're done. So what I've done is taken one of the extra timber locks that came with the kit. I screwed it into the inside, and I just tied a little string to it. I'm going to take that same string, tie it through our latch, so that we've got a way to open it from the inside. Now the string doesn't come with the kit, but I'm betting you have a piece of string kicking around somewhere you could use. So once that's firmly tied inside and outside, now you'll be able to open the door from the inside when you're done. And there it is. The only thing left to do is put in a floor and put the post caps on. So now you've got a great shower stall, but you may not like showering in the mud. We've thought of that. We have a cedar shower floor panel that we're going to put right inside the stall. The cedar is nice and soft on your feet. It doesn't splinter up, and it'll keep you out of the mud. It's that easy to install. We'll just lay that down, and then we want to put the finishing touch on the stall. We're going to add post caps to the top of our posts. And that's it. Shower stall is completed, ready for a shower.
Taking it nice and easy, moving it nice and slow.